Hello, everyone. Just waiting to see if we're going to have any more people join us before we get started. I'll just wait a few more minutes.
Would you prefer that we have our cameras on or off, or does it matter to you?
Okay, we can go ahead and get started. I'm just going to share my screen. Can everybody see my screen?
Yep.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Well, I just want to briefly introduce myself. My name is Sam. I am a nutritionist here at Nutrition and Whole Health Solutions. I specialize in nutrition coaching, nutrition response testing, and functional lab testing as well. Today, we're going to talk all about stress and the body, specifically cortisol and its role in our body, its function, and how it impacts our body, and different ways that we can manage it as well. Go ahead and get started. Okay, so first up, what is cortisol? So cortisol actually is a stress hormone in our body. It's produced in our adrenal glands, which sit right on top of our kidneys. And when our body perceives any form of stress, adrenaline is immediately produced. That's that immediate feeling that we feel. And then our adrenals release cortisol. So cortisol is not bad. I know I feel like it gets like a bad reputation, but it does play many important roles in our body. It can impact our sleep, our mood, our energy, our immune system, our digestion, and our weight. And many people don't know this, but cortisol actually is anti-inflammatory. It plays a really big role with our circadian rhythm. So think of cortisol as the sun and melatonin as the moon. So cortisol is really sensitive to light exposure. So when we wake up in the morning, our cortisol should spike. This is called our cortisol awakening response. So, and then it should slowly taper off throughout the day so that it is low at night. And that is when melatonin, our sleep hormone, should rise. And so they're basically like opposites. So functions of cortisol. Cortisol is what we call a glucocorticoid, which basically means that it's going to mobilize glucose in our body. Glucose is our body's blood sugar and gives us energy. So when cortisol is in balance, it actually does break down our fat tissue to free up fatty acids that we use as energy. And so when it's balanced, it actually is fat burning. Which is what we want. It also can maintain our mood, emotional stability. It directs secretory IgA, which is our body's immune response. So because 80% of our immune system is actually located in our gut, it's going to greatly impact our body's gut function as well. Like I mentioned before, it does counter inflammation, so it is an anti-inflammatory. If cortisol is dysregulated in any way, this can actually lead to more pain and inflammation in our body. So different ways that cortisol impacts our body. So some signs and symptoms that cortisol could be dysregulated is sleep disruption. So having a hard time falling asleep or staying asleep, not feeling well rested in the morning, feeling fatigued throughout the day, feeling burnt out or overwhelmed, relying on caffeine or sugar for energy, feeling dizzy or lightheaded. In terms of mood, feeling anxious or irritable. High cortisol can also cause highly irregular periods. So cycles that are either shorter than 21 days or longer than 36 days, or potentially no bleed at all. Things that could cause this are actually under eating or over exercising. A higher stress response can actually lower our immune response. And so when this happens, we are more at risk of pathogens, which can actually break down our gut lining. And when that happens, that can actually lead to potentially like leaky gut and more inflammation in our gut. So cortisol levels can also greatly impact autoimmunity and can even worsen some autoimmune symptoms. When cortisol is in balance, like I mentioned before, it acts as a fat burner. However, if there's too much cortisol or for like longer term chronic stress, our body can actually do the opposite. It can actually store fat, which could cause weight gain. So now, we've talked about so many different ways that cortisol and stress have an impact on our body. So what can we actually do about it, right? So I know it sounds easier said than done, but reducing daily stressors in our life can really help. So really just kind of digging deep, taking an audit of our life and really figuring out what is the main source of stress in our life? Where is it coming from? Setting boundaries, both professionally and personally, can really help with this. Cortisol has a really big impact on our blood sugar, and vice versa. They really impact each other. So using food as a way to regulate our blood sugar will help with cortisol. If our blood sugar is dropping too low, then actually cortisol will spike. So this can, cause issues with sleep. So either, falling asleep or staying asleep. So making sure you're eating enough throughout the day, making sure you're eating well-balanced meals throughout the day. Protein, fat, and fiber are the most blood sugar regulating foods. So that can really help to balance our blood sugar throughout the day, which can also affect our blood sugar at night. If you are someone that wakes up frequently at night, if you're waking up hungry, if you're waking up like startled or stressed at all, that can be a sign that your blood sugar is dropping too low at night and causing that cortisol spike. So sometimes even adding a little bit of a bedtime snack can help to regulate that a little bit. A snack that would be, balanced is maybe like a banana with some almond butter, something like that, that either it's going to have a fat or protein with it to make sure that it is balanced, can really help. So practicing good sleep hygiene, really prioritizing sleep. Going back to the circadian rhythm, light exposure really activates our cortisol. So think about, our screen time at night, looking at our phones, consuming social media, even different shows we might be watching, that could spike cortisol. Just thinking about things that you might be consuming at night and how that's kind of making you feel. So really reducing that light exposure and screen time can really help. Also looking at our caffeine use throughout the day. If you are somebody who struggles with high cortisol, really either limiting or eliminating caffeine altogether can really help, because caffeine will cause a spike in cortisol as well. And then some things that can help regulate our nervous system, things like breath work, meditation, tapping, and even kind of getting light exposure in the morning, again, kind of going back to our circadian rhythm. Movement, like yoga, even getting outside, going for walks, more like low impact exercise can also help. And if you are, again, somebody who has chronic stress, really think about maybe reducing that higher intensity exercise. Everybody's different. Everybody kind of reacts to stress differently. But if you are somebody who has chronic stress, doing a higher intensity workouts is going to cause cortisol to rise. And then going along with, with movement, just getting outside in general, whether that's going for a walk, grounding, even first thing in the morning, just exposure to nature can also really help manage our stress. And then lastly, supplementation can always help as well. And something that can help with that is nutrition response testing, which is a service that we offer here. So there are many different herbs or adaptogens and even minerals that can help to calm or relax our body. Things like magnesium, ashwagandha, even tea at night, like chamomile, or other herbs like lemon balm or passion flower, skullcap, things like that. We also carry Bach flower remedies here in the office. And those can really help to reduce stress and regulate our moods as well. So if you are curious about different supplements and things like that, and figuring out what is right for you, nutrition response testing will help to get to the root cause of what might be causing some of that stress, or how stressors are affecting different areas of your body, and can also really help to identify what specific supplements are going to be best for you and your body. And so that is going to sum up everything about cortisol and stress today. I just wanted to see if anybody had any questions. You can write them in the chat. I'll just leave that open. So if you do have any questions, you can write them in there. If you are a new client or new to NWHS, we wanted to make a special offer for you today. So if you do book an initial consultation, you will get a free Balancer Pro session. Our Balancer Pro is a lymphatic drainage massage. So that can really help to boost immune system. It can really help to flush out any metabolic waste and toxins from the body. And then for new and existing clients, if for the whole month of November, we are offering a special on our Bach flower remedies. You can actually make a custom remedy specific for yourself. So you can come into the office and fill out a little questionnaire. We have little bottles that we can help kind of fill for you with the different Bach flower remedies. So you can take that home with you and use that to, again, kind of regulate your nervous system, help reduce stress, and regulate mood as well. So thank you to everybody who joined today. And I'll just recheck the chat here. I don't see any other questions. So thank you all so much for joining me today. Again, my name is Sam, and you can find me here at NWHS. I look forward to hopefully seeing you all and meeting you all soon. Thank you.